Rare Share with the Chief Administrative Officer of Sidco New Towns, Mr. Sunil Kendrekar. Aurangabad Management Association was founded in the year 1977 by a group of enthusiastic entrepreneurs and management professionals. Their mission was to undertake path-breaking management initiatives in sync with the timeless principle that sharing brings abundance. To achieve its objective of providing a platform for sharing ideas and experiences in the field of management, the idea of the Rare Share emerged. Since its inception in 2013, Rare Share has been a popular event that brings eminent achievers from diverse fields to share their journey with the residents of Aurangabad. Without further ado, we welcome on stage Mr. Sunil Kendrekar. Please, Kendrekar. AMA President, Mr. Kagliwal. Secretary, Dr. Deshpande. Yes. Yes. And our guest of honor for the evening, Mr. Prashant Deshpande, MD, Expert Global Solutions. So we'll just move on. And now for the 27th Rare Share, we take the honor of introducing our speaker for the evening, Mr. Sunil Kendrekar. Mr. Kendrekar, a nature lover, an adventurer, an agriculture enthusiast, and an IAS officer, is most popularly known as an officer of the people.
Most of you must have heard or read about the protests in Bede when he was transferred from the city. Those protests and his transfer from Bede city led to a storming controversy about the political interference and pressure on fearless and honest officers. While Mr. Kendrekar is known to work silently and prefers to keep a very low profile, it took us a lot of effort to bring him here today. His image in the media, तरी media मध्ये त्यांची ओळख असं कर्तव्य दक्ष, प्रामाणिक, लोकप्रिय आणि दबंग अधिकारी म्हणून आहे. Most of us civilians, at least a lot of us in Aurangabad, we remain aloof and ignorant about our administrative officers. We often blame them for the condition of the nation, of the city, of our backyard, of our neighborhood, of our own house. But the opportunity to interact with Mr. Kendrekar will convince anyone what determination and what resolve it takes to work as a leader in the public services today. We have had the pleasure of working with him in the field of solid waste management in Sidco Valuch, and we're truly amazed by his strong leadership, the high expectations he has from his entire team, his cheerful sense of humor, and his love for the natural environment. Working with him has inspired us to believe that as residents and citizens, we ought to work with the government in the progress of the nation. And we are sure that each one of you today will leave this auditorium feeling the same and with a burning desire in your heart to become a proactive participant in the building of our nation. So with that, we present to you Mr. Sunil Kendrekar.
So everything is okay now. Can I speak?
Yeah.
Some great words are talked about me. One sentence was very true. It takes a lot of efforts for Natasha and her team to bring me here. I will try to maintain this forum as informal as possible. I am a person from very humble background, a truly middle class background, but quite a rich environment as far as thoughts and culture is concerned. there are some issues which I think that perfectly normal with them, or it should be perfectly normal with most of the human beings. But don't know, it is a pathetic scene in our country that some normal conduct or normal working has been turned into a heroic one, because all the parameters are doping down so badly that your passing standards are going down day by day, and so if somebody scores 35-40%, then also he becomes a hero in the system. As far as my not appearing before the gathering is concerned, and my belief in remaining isolated is concerned, because I had been into the public for quite a long time, but now I am losing faith in Indian minds that most of the people do listen everything, but they don't do anything. That is my way of speaking. So I cannot put my things in a very covered, nicely fashion. So I am known for my bluntness. So something you have to also bear about me. What happens that many times you interact with the person, then you are wasting part of your life. Either it is investing or investing, it depends upon how the person is going to conduct afterwards. It is not necessary that all your point of views are to be accepted, because in every interaction you are also learning from other side. But in last 25 years of my public life, I have observed that we have successfully crystallized a segment in the population which interacts with great words, with great ideas, and it's of no use ultimately. I am not interested into interacting with the people who are having great ideas in their mind, and a small of that cannot be brought into the practicality. So that was the only reason, because when I was collector bid, or when I was earlier working for a brief period of time, I was collector here also, and every time people are calling me to talk, and they say that I should discuss things, I should tell people what is happening in my mind and what are my ideas and what are my principles and all that. My firm belief was this: now nobody is ready to listen to anybody in India. So everybody thinks that he is a very enriched person. He can question anybody, whatever may be the sort of contribution he has made to the country. He can criticize anybody, though his contribution towards the country may be zero or may be negative. So you can call this as some pessimist attitude, but it is there. So that was the only reason that's why I was avoiding to come on this forum, because I think that 2 hours we will speak, you will question me, I will answer questions. Finally you will have two types of opinion. Either you will say that this is a duffer guy, useless, and I don't know how he is managing the affairs of the country or affairs of the portfolio that is entrusted to him. Otherwise you will develop opinion that he is a great guy and he knows so many things, really I am impressed. And finally when you get up in the morning, next day, everything is finished. You are the same person which you were yesterday. No country can change like this. I think that there should be some burning desire inside you, which may not be promoted by any talk, which may not be promoted by any personality, which may not be promoted by any individual. There should be real burning desire about right and wrong inside you. What is right and what is wrong, this is a subjective matter, but whatever the systems that society has established, a 5th standard student also can tell you what is wrong and what is right. There is no need that some Tom, Dick and Harry, some IAS officer or some great personality who had contributed, so-called contributed in the society will come here and tell you what is wrong and what is right. So to know what is wrong and what is right is one issue, and to fight for the right is another issue. So Indians are generally considered as a very talkative, argumentative, and like this type of people. That's what the image we carry, at least outside our country. We talk a lot, we do too little. for planting a single sapling of a tree and ensuring that it will survive throughout the summer is also a very tiring task. But to sit in a drawing room and talk about the deforestation is a very easy task. So most of us are now drawing room tigers. We sit in the drawing room and we are very interested in commenting on others' business. So if you are an industrialist, or if you are a common man, or if you are a some commercial trader, etc., you will be very happy to comment on bureaucracy. The bureaucrats are like this, government is thoroughly useless, what sort of laws they are preparing. As a citizen, I don't know what is a law. I have never read the law. I don't know the integrities of the law. But I will like to comment on the law. So our urge to comment and judge others is immense. I am going to open the forum for your questions, but just I am giving a starter. These are my views. May not be okay with everybody. But we are very judgmental people. We want to pass judgment. We always feel that what Mr. Manmohan Singh has done, whether he has done right or wrong. What is the present status of the government? What is it going about the foreign policy? Whether the touring of PM outside is good or bad? Whether he is doing sufficiently for the farmers or not? Without reading land acquisition bills, we are ready to comment on land acquisition bills. Without reading about foreign trade or foreign relations, we are ready to comment upon that. Without knowing simple T of terrorism, we are ready to give judgments and verdicts how the terrorism should be handled. In my personal opinion, if the general population of our country behaves in such a fashion, then it is extremely dangerous. This is my personal. I am a bureaucrat by profession, but I am first citizen of this country. First I am citizen of this country, and then I am whatever the profession in I may be an IAS officer, or I may be a peon in the government public school. It hardly makes a difference. Only important issue is whether I study the matter properly and then I comment, or I am very eager to comment on the issue and pass on a judgment. See, no country has been changed by the governments. If you see the history, you will always find that the destiny of the country is always set by the people residing in the country. And in the government from last 25 years, I can assure you that government cannot change the destiny of this country. It is impossible. They can manage the affairs. That like there is a big hotel and there is a hotel manager. So government is like that. And if the citizens are expecting that the government will change the destiny of the country or the fate of the country, then it reflects on their poor knowledge about how the country should be developed. This is number one. Second issue is, when we talk about something, there should be a small amount of introspection. What we have contributed. There is a now fashion that upcoming that I am running after my career, okay? I am running after my career and I say that I am contributing to the country. I don't know how this bullshit is tolerated in our nation. Like I am a cricketer, I play for my career, I go for good advertisements, I am disturbed if I am not selected by the select committee. And after some years I will say that I have played for the country. As if I have fought for the country. Shahadat ho gaya, is तरीके से बात करते हैं. This is very funny situation. And they talk, media also talk, everybody listens, nobody questions. I used to read a lot. Now I don't have time. But again, when I entered into the phase of isolation, I have again started reading. But in my earlier days, in my college days and all those days, I used to read a lot. I was associated with movements also. And I had gone through all the possible menaces or adversaries that a normal human being from a middle class can face. I have passed all through. I used to read a lot of things about the Second World War because I believe that this is one of the incidents in the human history which teaches you all highs and lows. How great people were, how worst quality people were there. How great warriors were there, how cowards were there. There were people who were ready to die for their country, there were people who were ready to sell their country. So all ups, atrocities, again up you can see, highest quality of atrocities which are deplorable, at the same time great way to protect the humanity. In this situation, one question was asked to German foreign minister, Ribbentrop was his name, and it was asked to him, how you judge that? Because these people Nazis used to tell that we will capture France in 2 months, Poland in 2 months, France in 4 months, Austria in so many days, like this. So the question was asked by one of the journalists, how you calculate this? How you judge a country? They said that we judge a country upon the type of youth. What is the type of youth that country is having? What it reads? What type of cultural amusements they are using? What type of philosophy they are harboring in their mind? All this we judge and then we decide whether these people can fight with us or not. So moral of the story is that what type of people in the country are, the country will be like that. If you are bad, you will get the bad governance. If you are good, you will get the good governance. This is simple. Now there is another issue that I have found is that when we criticize government, then we are having a simple expectation that government is something different. It is different from the citizen. This is a wrong perception. Some of you will enter the government, some of you will become an IAS officer, some of you will become engineers, and when you are spoiling everything, then some of you are spoiling everything. So government is not a different organ. Now we talk about the political system. There is always friction between the political people and bureaucracy. This is a myth. The friction is extremely less. Let me tell you. There are very few incidences of friction between the political bosses and bureaucrats. Now you should also see what type of situation is emerging in our country. There are different areas. There is a media. There is a judiciary. There is a bureaucracy. There is a political masters. This is a democracy. Political masters are going to rule you. You may like or may not like, because this is a democracy. And as it is always said that to have democracy sometimes is a luxury. At the same time, some people ask what is the achievement of democracy. To have a democracy itself is an achievement. Because many countries are struggling for that also. I will tell you an example. About 20-25 years back, when I was traveling from a bus from Mumbai to Pune, at that time one co-passenger was with me, and he was from Libya. He was coming from Libya at that point of time. This is about 25-year back story. He started telling me the greatness of that country. He was an Indian. So he told me that, see, the roads are straight. They are bisecting each other at right angle. Because Colonel Gaddafi doesn't like that roads are taking turns. So whatever may be in between the line, he will cut it. It may be some hillock or something else, he is not bothered. And roads are cutting across right angle. Number one. He told me that petrol, diesel, all this fuel is extremely cheap. It is difficult to die in that country with hunger or with poverty. If you are doing nothing, then also you are quite rich compared to Indians. Everything is fine. 25 years back the gentleman told me that, but people are not happy. Why? Because we people are having, as they are also having, like us, urge to talk, to criticize, to shout, to protest. So he told me that it is like an open, well-furnished prison. Libya is an open, well-furnished prison. At that time, 25 years back, this fellow, who was some laborer in the Libya Tripoli, he said that, I am very sure that a day will come when Gaddafi will be killed. This was his statement 25 years back. And let me tell you, he was a person who was a poor man. Compared to us, he was a laborer there. But see, he was having a thinking process in his mind. And he was thinking about the political future of the country, what is happening in the social structure of the country, everything he was thinking. When I heard the news of Colonel Gaddafi being killed, then I told my son and my wife that this has been told so many years back by some gentleman. Like that, when I interview the common people here, I am also on the interview committee of the SIDCO for selecting engineers who are MTech and all that. I asked some simple 2 questions to these people. I asked a simple question, please tell me one name of a ruler, maybe Prime Minister or a President of the country where India shares the border. Out of 72 candidates, not a single candidate was able to tell.